Today we're going to review combining like terms. So like terms are terms that have the same variable with the same exponent. So same variable and same exponent. The chart here gives us some examples. On the left-hand side we have like terms, and on the right-hand side we have unlike terms. Okay, on the left-hand side with the like terms, the first pair, these are like because they both have the variable x, and that's it. The second one, they have the variable x with an exponent of 2, so that makes those like terms. The third one, we have 13xy and negative 7xy. They both have xy. The fourth one, we have 5x squared y and 3x squared y. Once again, same variables, same exponents, and the same thing on the last one. We have a 1x and a 4x. The right-hand side, these are not like. The 2x and negative 7y, well, those aren't even the same variable. The next set, they both have an x, but they have different exponents. The first one's squared, an exponent of 2. The second one, you don't see an exponent, which means an exponent of 1. 13xy and negative 7xz, they both have a variable x, but then they have an additional variable, and they're not the same. One's y, one's z. Okay, similar on the next one, we have x squared y with a 5 and 3xy squared. Same variables, but different exponents. On the 5, the x is squared. With the 3, it's a plain x. Okay, and then the last example, we have an x, just the variable x, and then the number 4, which doesn't even have a variable. So you can only combine terms if they're like. They have to be like terms in order to add or subtract. And when you combine those like terms, you'll just add or subtract the coefficients, so the numbers that are out in front. Okay, so our first example, we have negative 2x plus 3 minus 4x plus 5 minus 4x squared plus 11 minus 15x plus 2x squared minus 15. So you can only combine terms that are like terms. So I'm just going to start here in the beginning with this negative 2x, and I'm going to look for anything else that has a plain x. So there's a negative 4x and a negative 15x, and that would be it. So I'm going to combine these. I'm going to say negative 2 minus 4, which will give me negative 6. And then negative 6 minus 15 will give me negative 21. I'm going to put the x there. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep going in order. So my constants, so I'm going to do a 3 plus 5 plus 11, and it looks like minus 15. So 3 plus 5 will give us 8. 8 plus 11 is 19. 19 minus 15 is 4, positive 4, so plus 4. All right, and it looks like I have some x squared terms here. So a negative 4x squared and a 2x squared. So negative 4 plus 2 will give me negative 2x squared. Now typically when you write the answers, you write them in what's called descending order. So that means you start with the highest exponent. So my highest exponent is going to be this one. So I'm going to put my negative 2x squared first. Then I'm just going to go down in order. So 2x's and then 1x. So negative 21x. And then the 4 doesn't have an x at all. So plus 4. And this would be my final answer. So example 2, we have x plus 2x minus 9 plus xy minus 2 minus 3x plus 2xy minus 4 minus 3xy. So once again, I'm just going to start at the beginning, go in order. So this one's a plain x. That one has an x, so plus 2x. Here's a negative 3x. And that's it. So remember, this is like a 1 out in front. So 1x plus 2x is 3x. 3 minus 3, well, that's 0. So that just cancels out. So we're just going to get rid of that. Don't put x, because remember, if you put x, that means 1x, but we don't have any left. That's 0, so you don't need to put anything. Okay, let's go to our constants. So we have a negative 9 there, a negative 2, a negative 4. So negative 9 minus 2 is negative 11, minus 4 is negative 15. All right, here I have an xy. This would be like having a 1 out in front. Here I have an xy. And then this one's xy as well. They're not in the same order, but that's okay. That means the same thing. I'm going to say 1xy plus 2xy. So that's 3. And then 3 minus 3, that one cancels out as well. That one's also 0. So I'm just going to get rid of that, which means our final answer is just negative 15. All right, so our last example, we have negative 7 times the quantity of n plus 3 minus 8 times the quantity of 1 plus 8n. So this one has some parentheses in it, so that means we're going to have to distribute first here. Remember, distribute just means to multiply. You're going to multiply the number that's directly in front of your set of parentheses. So in this first set of parentheses, we're going to distribute this negative 7. So negative 7 times n is just negative 7n. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. Okay, and then we're going to go to the second set, the 1 plus 8n, and distribute that negative 8 that's out in front. So we're going to say negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. And negative 8 times 8n is negative 64n. Okay, now we're going to combine our like terms. So we have an n, negative 7n, and then we have an n at the end here, negative 64. So negative 7 minus 64, which will give us negative 71n. And it looks like we have some constants. So a negative 21 and a negative 8. So negative 21 minus 8 will give us negative 29. Okay, those aren't like, so we'll just leave that. So our final answer is negative 71n minus 29.